In the capital. It is live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland and indeed on Sports Extra and Sports Extra 3. Heart of Midlothian against Celtic with your commentary team of Pat Bonner, Craig Levine and Liam McLeod.
A bitterly cold day in Edinburgh, but one of Scottish football's powder keg fixtures as Heart of Midlothian go head to head with Celtic. And in the best possible place right now as well are the home team, who are enjoying their best start to a league season in 20 years. And George Burley led them on their way to that impressive opening in 2005. It was round about now he was sacked on the day they played Dunfermline. John McGlynn took charge of that. They won that one as well, going on to finish second in the league. The title challenge faltered later that campaign, but there is a feeling, a real feeling around here that they can put the champions to the sword on their own patch, and potentially, depending on what happens in midweek, Celtic are at home to Falkirk, Hearts go to St Mirren, Celtic are idle next week. If Hearts win at home to Dundee, they could be 11 clear at the top of the league, which is quite remarkable. It's the same 11 for the fifth game in a row for them. Shvolov in goal, McEntee, Halkett, Finlay, Kingsley, Milne, Beningame, Devlin, Kizaridis, Shanklin and Braga. Celtic shorn of 4 certain starters, 3 of them injured on Thursday. Schmeichel in goal, Donovan, Murray, Scales and Tierney, Engels, McGregor, Hatate, Nygren, Tinecti and Kenny. In the case of Donovan, Murray and Kenny, it is just their second ever Premiership start for Celtic. It's a tall order for them in this bear pit of an atmosphere down the Gorgie Road here in the capital. And Hearts will kick off, shooting from right to left. Maroon shirts, white shorts, maroon socks. Celtic in the green and white hoops will shoot left to right. Hearts towards the Roseburn off to our left. At the back of the Wheatfield we watch opposite the main stand. Hearts kick off, roll back to Kingsley, who launches it out high to that far side for McEntee, who nods it in field, and Beningame picks up at Hearts and in possession in the opening seconds of the game. Out to the left hand side, it's picked up here by Kizaridis, rolls it low into Beningame, and then side football out to McEntee over on the right hand side, down the line for Harry Milne, who continues on that right flank for the league leaders as it's passed back by McEntee to Halkett, who finds Findlay. 9 goals between them, the two Hearts centre-back pairing this season, as Beningame rolls it back to Halkett and then out low ball to the right side for McEntee, who fires it through, but it's going to come all the way to Kasper Schmeichel, who holds on. What an atmosphere, Craig Levine.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected, and I think this is going to build as the game goes on. I'll be interested. This might today be a game that is decided by mistakes, Liam, and the stakes are high, and there's some young lads in the Celtic team there, but we'll see what happens.
It's been raining quite heavily all morning in Edinburgh. The pitch is slick down there as Shvolov goes long with the right foot out to the far side. Tierney gets onto it, knocks it up the line, looking to try and get Tinecti involved, and then there's a foul on Milne on the far side. The referee, Stephen McLean, sounds his whistle, not that we were able to hear it, I'm assuming he did, and it will be a free kick to Hearts over on the far side, almost level with the edge of the centre circle in the Celtic half. Packy Bonner.
Yeah, it's the first test for this defence, isn't it? They've got the big guys. Finley's gone up, Halkett's gone up, they've got Shanklin, and they're going to put it right in on top of that penalty spot and see if Schmeichel can deal with it, can the centre halves deal with it.
Derry McInnes watching, hands in pockets behind this free kick, which is taken by Kizaridis, right footed into the box. It goes headed away by Scales, picked up by Beningame. His Hearts keep the pressure on, out to the left hand side touchline for Findlay, rolls it in field to Devlin, who finds Findlay on the left hand side, and now with McEntee, and then the cross cut out by Donovan and out for a Hearts throw-in on this near side. But it's been a bright opening by the league leaders.
Yeah, they got the kick off, didn't they, and they put it right in on top of that, sort of into where Kieran Tierney is, and then they've sort of can almost capitalise on that, and they've pinned Celtic in this opening couple of minutes.
Kingsley drawing the ball down on the left with his shirt as he prepares to take potentially a long throw into the Celtic box here. Bowled in towards the 6-yard line, it's headed half away, breaks to Findlay, stabbed clear by McGregor. Now Beningame has it. Celtic cannot get a feel of the ball in these early stages. It is with Kizaridis on this near side. Good footwork, right foot cross comes in, headed away by Murray. Breaks into the centre circle for Beningame. Knocks it forward side, football to Claudio Braga, out to the right for Shankland. On the corner of Tierney. And this bright start by Hearts, it's a real sign of intent this from the home team.
Yeah, those first couple of crosses, and Celtic have actually dealt with them quite well, but that's the intent.
It's just pressure, isn't it? It's just continually keeping that pressure on. That's what Derek will be hoping for.
In swinging corner from Harry Milne over on the far side, bends it into the 6-yard box. Halkett wins the header. Finlay is a slash at it, and it's cleared by Scales. Now we'll come to Kingsley on the halfway line. Looks up at the pitch ahead of him. Long angle ball, left footed into the Celtic box, headed away by Tierney. Milne can't control, and Tierney finds Tynecastle, who gives it straight back to Hearts there with Halkett. Kenny trying to win it back, and he did so momentarily, but Hearts swarming around them, and it's picked up by Beningame, who rolls it left of the circle here for Kingsley. Out to Kizaridis, looking to attack the Celtic defence here against Donovan, plays it across, and Shankland gets the touch and puts it wide at the near post. Excellent build-up play by Hearts, and Lawrence Shankland was exactly where you want him to be, on the 6-yard line, making a nuisance of himself, but he can only stab it wide of the left-hand post, and it stays Hearts 0, Celtic 0 after 4 minutes, but it's been all
Hearts, isn't it? Yeah, but Kizaridis did exactly what I expect him to do when he receives the ball in a 1v1 situation. He goes down the outside, puts the ball across the face of goal, and Shankland couldn't quite get the connection on it they needed.
Long ball forward, Kenny giving chase, fall off, comes out of his box to clear, and that kind of just drifted over the Hearts central defence there. Kenny found himself in, but Svalov read the danger, comes out and puts it clear and out for a throw-in to Celtic, who are getting their first real feel of the ball here. McGregor rolling it into the centre circle for Scales. Yeah,
that long ball from the goalkeeper over the top. Halkett couldn't deal with it. Johnny Kenny, I thought he could have went for it. Balls outside the box and make the goalkeeper then make a decision, but he almost kind of half pulled out of it and allowed the goalkeeper then to come and play the ball out.
Beningame won it back off Engels, breaks to Kingsley, he sweeps clear from the edge of his own box, then knocked back forward there by Murray, breaks to McGregor in the midfield. Callum McGregor up against Beningame, little ball forward is blocked by Finlay, but it breaks to Arne Engels. Engels under pressure from Devlin, rolls it out to Donovan on this near side. Donovan then rolls it back to Murray, and then infield to McGregor. This is Celtic's best period of possession in the infancy of the match, as it's played out to Tierney on the left-hand side, to Tynecastle, misunderstanding as he overhits the ball. Back down the line, and Hatate gives it straight to Shankland. Shankland driving forward, McEntee to the right, Braga to the left. Finds Braga, he's in the box, and Murray blocks, but it breaks to Kizaridis, and he hits him with the outside of the boot, and it goes miles wide, and it stays Hearts 0, Celtic 0. But that is absolutely shocking from Celtic's point of view. Yeah, firstly from Tynecastle, and then the inexplicable ball by Rio Hatate. He's been so off it this season, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a very simple pass back to Scales. I don't know what he was trying to do. It was
neither that. I mean,
it was almost like a loose, just a loose pass without sort of his foot or something, and he got it all wrong, and it just gives Hearts the momentum then, and that's what you don't want. That's what I talked about before the game, bravery. We've seen it also with Tynecastle early on, where he's just lashed the ball forward to nobody, get better bravery on the ball.
A little bit of panic in the Celtic team just now, and if Hearts can just keep the pressure on, then I spoke earlier on about making mistakes. If you can keep putting crosses in and keep making those defenders defend, then somebody will fall asleep, and you'll get an opportunity to score.
Here's Kingsley for Hearts, rolls it out wide left here for Kizaridis, attacking the Celtic left angle of the box. Little back heel from Kizaridis. Kingsley, first time left foot cross comes in, diving header away by McGregor, and out for a throw into Hearts on this near side. It's been an excellent opening 7 minutes from Derry McInnes' side. And Kingsley has another long throw opportunity here on this left flank. It's level with the Celtic 18-yard line. Kingsley is actually taking it short to Kizaridis, gets it back. Kingsley under no pressure. Long, deep cross into the box. Shankland wins the header. Braga! Good save, Schmeichel. Shankland back across. It's in! It's an own goal off Murray! And the league leaders lead the champions. Schmeichel with an excellent save. It broke to Shankland, who fired it back across the face of goal. And Dane Murray rifles it into the roof of his own net. And Hearts have the Tynecastle. Could it be a special afternoon for them as they try and go 8 clear at the top of the Premiership? Heart of Midlothian 1, Celtic 0.
Well, I didn't expect that mistake to come so soon, Liam. I mean, just the constant pressure of Hearts continually putting the ball into the box, and the young lad has just made a mistake. He's tried to clear the ball off the line, but he's actually hit the ball into the roof of the net instead of clearing it, and that's just a little bit of panic for me. But the Hearts have been keeping the pressure on. It's been building.
Yeah, I've got to say it was an incredible save from Schmeichel in the first instance from the header. Really good save. But then Murray is on his left foot. You know, I'm sure Brendan Rodgers was trusting it was there, but his left foot to clear that one off the line. It was an easy. There's a good ball in behind.
Yeah, Kenny left-hand side of the box up against Talcott, tries to turn back infield, shows too much of it to the Hearts defender, who finds McEntee, who clears Shanklin with the flick. He's going to get it back off Scales though. Shanklin through looking for Braga. Murray's covering, and he rolls it back to Schmeichel. But it's an awful start for Dane Murray, putting through his own goal.
And it wasn't a difficult one to clear either. You know, like he's just totally panicked, totally misheaded with his left foot. Not a strong foot, as you know.
McGregor dinking it through for Tynecastle. Follow comes out and gets there ahead of the Celtic winger and slides in, puts it out for a throw-in on the far side.
Celtic are getting in a few times.
I was just going to say, Hearts will need to be careful in that back line. That's 3 times Celtic have got in behind and haven't been offside.
Tynecastle rolling it back to McGregor. Midway inside the Hearts half, squares it to Murray. Short ball to Engels and then to Murray. Hearts have the early lead. Their early dictation of play justifies. Hatate out to Tierney, down the line for Tynecastle. He's got Hatate ahead of him. Tynecastle steps back and plays it back to Tierney, who plays it infield to Scales.
Yeah, and this is where Celtic, yes, got plenty of possession here, but he need a little bit of movement ahead of the ball. Here's
McGregor
have a strike
for Engels, and then out to Donovan. Finds Nygren on the touchline, and then Engels back out to Donovan. Swings the cross in. Schwolov could have caught that, decides to punch it. Hearts with a 1-0 lead here. If you're just joining us after 10 minutes of this game, a Murray own goal as Hearts, as it stands, 8 clear at the summit of the top flight. Here is Callum McGregor right of the centre circle, through for Kenny, looked offside. He's got the touch, and eventually the flag goes up, and it will be a Hearts free kick, and it's Hearts 1, Celtic 0.
Yeah, but that, again, that's a run. You know, nobody tracked him, but I think he was well offside, so you put it down to maybe good defending on that occasion. But they're trying to get in behind that back line of Hearts. They've done it, as Craig already said, 3. That's the 4th time. And that looks like their tactic today.
The other times that the ball was put in behind, I don't think they were offside, but the ball was just overhit. So the warning was there for Hearts.
Schwolov takes the free kick from just inside his box, long into the Celtic half. The header won by Scales, and Hatate gets it out to Sebastian Tynecastle on the left. McEntee burrowing back, and then Devlin blocking Tynecastle, and then McEntee picks up back to Devlin, and then down the line. But it breaks to Kieran Tierney. Goes back to Scales. Squares the ball to Murray. And sometimes when a team puts a challenge in on Celtic, you see them up there with them at the top of the league, but when it comes to the head-to-head battles with them, can sometimes be a little bit timid. Certainly not the case for Hearts today. Donovan out to Nygren, level with the Hearts penalty spot, then to Callum McGregor. Rolls it left-hand side of the box for Tynecastle, to the overlapping Tierney, pulls it back, and McGregor equalises. Wonderful goal! Fabulous from Celtic there. Yeah, they worked it really well, out to the left. It was pulled back across. After a great interchange between Tynecastle and Tierney, and McGregor calmly rolls Celtic level a few minutes after they went behind. Heart of Midlothian 1, Celtic 1.
Yeah, really good goal. Work it down this right-hand side. It was a great pick out at the edge of the box for that square pass to McGregor. Lays it wide. The overlap from Tierney. Cut back to McGregor then. Acres of space, just a side footed into the back of net. Perfectly worked goal for Celtic.
Yeah, and you know, just this last 5 minutes or so, Pat, I think Celtic have settled. They've had that period of possession, which I think has sort of steadied them a little bit.
Here's Braga up the other end, and then McGregor. So a goal apiece after 12 minutes. It bodes well if you're a neutral this match.
Well, it was so important, sorry Liam, it was so important for Celtic to hit back early in this game, because Hearts had the momentum in that early period, and Craig's right, Celtic came into it a bit better after that, so it was a great reaction from Celtic, you've got to say. So it's a real game on.
Finlay rolls it back to Schwolov, who fires it up high into the Celtic half. Shanklin wins the header ahead of Scales. Now it's Kizaridis with a cushion header into the centre circle, and then Devlin out to Kingsley on the near side, rolls it back to Findlay, who squares it to Halkett. And then Schwolov. Be interesting to see if Craig Halkett is in the Scotland squad coming up, given his performances both ends.
They've been good, actually, really good so far, haven't they? I mean, his performances defensively, but the bonus has been the goals that he's scored. And yeah, he looks really fit, and he looks like a happy footballer, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of unhappiness in his footballing career in the last couple of years, that's for sure. He won't have been happy that the Hearts lead was wiped out after 4 minutes. McGregor cancelling out the Murray own goal at the other end, and it is Dane Murray on the ball here as he knocks it forward to McGregor, halfway inside Hearts territory, out to Engels, low ball into the box. It's Benjamin Nygren, good covering by Findlay as it goes behind, but it is a Celtic corner, and they've reacted very well amidst this bear pit atmosphere, amidst going behind. They've managed to find an equaliser, and they're finding passes in the right areas now, Pat.
Yeah, and McGregor's getting into good positions, and he's the one that's dictating the play now. He's getting in between the lines. Somebody's got to pick him up. That's Cammy Devlin. Beningame is stepping out with Engels and creating that space for McGregor to operate in between the lines, and doing it very well.
Engels will take the corner. The Sweetfield stand side as they attack the Gorgie stand. It's a poor one though. The right foot headed out at the near post by Devlin, but he does get the bonus of getting another corner out of it. Engels off to our right. Way up high at the back of the Wheatfield stand here in Easter Road. Just two fabulous positions to watch the games from the commentary position. Unobstructed views as Engels attempts again. Went near post last time. This time it's a little bit deeper. It's flicked away by Shanklin. Breaks to Hatate, left-hand side of the box. A dreadful ball by Hatate, it really was. He's dinked it straight behind for the goal kick. I mean, as I said earlier, he's been miles off it this season so far. He's not the only one, of course, but he's such an excellent midfield player. And last season, he was so consistent as well. And remember him scoring a wonderful goal here early in his Celtic career.
Liam, he was unmarked, standing at the back area outside the box, and anything.
He wasn't even outside the box. He was inside
right,
the box.
well, but he was standing on his own, wasn't he?
Absolutely, no pressure on, and he overhits the cross out of play on the opposite side. Poor, very poor.
Yeah, I mean, given his performances recently, I'm surprised Luke McCowan isn't getting more of a look in. He doesn't seem to have let Celtic down at any point when he's played. He's on the bench again today, the former Dundee captain. Celtic in possession here with Murray at walking pace midway inside his own half, squares it to Scales. Been a good 10 minutes for Celtic since they went behind early in the match. There's Murray on the halfway line, right of the centre circle. Showed way too much of it to Devlin there, who makes the challenge. He's claiming it's a Hearts throw. It's a Celtic throw in. It's been taken by Donovan quickly back to Murray. He needs to perhaps play the simple ball just for a little while and embed himself in, Dane Murray, because the own goal, he must have that could potentially affect him going on. As Tynecastle chases a long ball down the left, but Halkett will see it behind for the goal kick, and it stays Hearts 1, Celtic 1 on 16.5 minutes.
Yeah, Hearts just dropped off, haven't they, you know, into their own half, and
their supporters are telling them about it.
Yeah, and, absolutely, and allowing the centre halves to get the ball, and that obviously they're hoping maybe the centre halves can't pick a pass, but that ball over the top is always a threat for them.
The standards are quite high here again, Craig, to be fair, that they're getting a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting game, the way it's developed so far, isn't it? You know, Hearts having that wonderful start, and Celtic then getting back into the game, and the goal was critical, wasn't it? Because it settled their nerves a little bit.
Donovan clears out for a Hearts throw-in. They're up the pitch here. It's a bit level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box on this near side, and once again, Stephen Kingsley is over this as they try and get their lead back here. Kingsley looks at the Celtic box and bowls it in towards the 6-yard line. It's won by Halkett, up into the air it goes, flicked half away by the visitors, and then Milne tries to get onto it. Hearts of a man down inside
Somebody
the
down.
box, and he's wanting treatment by the looks of it. Hearts have it with Kizeridis, the referee, has stopped play to allow attention to be given to, I think, Stuart Findlay, who it is that's down.
I'm not sure if it's a face injury or did he come down after he's gone up. No, it is. I think it looks like a face injury, isn't it?
He's holding his head, I think.
Yeah.
It certainly was, anyway. I didn't see anything. Anybody?
No, I think it's just
That's
a
what
clash,
happened.
wasn't it? You know, when obviously the long throw comes in there, you've got a group of players. You go up, you're gonna put your head in where it hurts.
Yeah.
And he's come out in the wrong end.
It's the guys were saying before the match started. Stuart Findlay, somebody that Derek McInnes got to know well over his 2-year loan spell at Kilmarnock. He actually had 4 separate spells at Killie. Began his career in the Celtic Academy. Stuart Findlay didn't manage to make the breakthrough. I'm talking about Craig Halkett for Scotland. Of course, Findlay's been in and around the Scotland squad under Steve Clarke, who also had him at Rugby Park for a time. Actually scored for the national team in a game against San Marino 6 years ago. He's back on his feet now, and he looks to be okay, because when he was down there he was kind of frantically waving his hands around as if he was being taken out.
He's okay because he's having a go at the referee.
He's having
Yes,
to go
exactly.
thinking that somebody's either elbowed him or whatever in that group of players, but yeah, making a wee bit more out of it than I think is justified.
There's no more experienced referees in this country than Stephen McLean. It's his 16th season as a top-flight referee. He takes charge of this one. One of the big headline fixtures that this country has to offer, as Donovan heads it out for a throw-in under pressure from Kizeridis, and Hearts it up the pitch again here. Kingsley takes it short to Kizeridis, and then back to Kingsley, leaves it for Kizeridis, gets his cross, it's a good one as well, and Schmeichel holds on. If Shanklin's there a split second before that, it's probably 2-1 Hearts.
Yeah,
it stays 1-1 as Tynecastle goes up the other end. Fabulous play to get away from McEntee. Down goes Halkett, he's away from him as well. McEntee biting back at Tynecastle on the far side. Eventually he's overrun. Beningame comes out to help, and it's played off the Tunisian and out for a Hearts throwing deep inside their own halves. Excellent positive play by Tynecastle, that.
Yeah, it's lively, isn't it? You know, both teams intent on attacking, and there's a lot of energy in the game, a lot of tackles and physical challenges.
What a brilliant ball that was into the Celtic 6-yard box there as well. Shanklin's so close to getting onto that, and all it needs is a touch.
Yeah, I think defensively, I think Celtic could take the credit there, because they managed to keep him on the right side from a defender's point of view.
Yeah, and for a goalkeeper, I've got to say, that is an agonising ball, because you've got to almost keep your eye on the ball and not get flustered by people driving in. You can't attack it, you just got to wait and hope and pray that it goes into your arms.
The corridor of uncertainty, I think, is what it's known as Dane Murray picks up and rolls it back to Kasper Schmeichel. It's the ball at his feet. Period of calm in the game, which is 21 minutes old. It's 1-1. Schmeichel's short ball there to Murray, long with the right foot, big switch out to the left, looking for Tynecastle. Good touch from him to control, but McEntee's all over him, and he boots it up the line. It's gone out, I think, for a throw-in over on the far side there for Celtic, which Kieran Tierney is over. And he's got a couple of options there. As Tierney gives it to Hatate, back to Tierney, back up the line for Tynecastle. He's level with the edge of the centre circle, and now into it for Murray in the Hearts half, out to this near side for Donovan. Donovan looking for an option in green and white, but he's forced by Hearts to go all the way back. Good pressing by both Devlin and Kizeridis on this near side.
Yeah, he was desperate for a run there from Johnny Kenny, wasn't he? You know, he's opened up and he's looking, and nothing's on, and he has to go all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Schmeichel rolls the ball into midfield for Hatate. It's a better ball by Hatate forward into the Hearts half for Tynecastle. Comes back to Hatate. He's overhit that one by a long way as well. Looking for Tierney down the left. It goes out for a Hearts throw-in.
Celtic are finding the spaces, Craig. They're building the game quite well, finding good spaces in that middle of the pitch.
It's a really interesting game just now, isn't it? You know, I mean, as I mentioned, Hearts started on fire, really, and I wasn't surprised that they went in front. But what's been really significant has been Celtic's equaliser. It's brought the game back to sort of level footing, and maybe even Celtic are on top now.
Callum McGregor flicks it forward into the air. It's Kenny's header out to the left, looking for Tynecastle. It's cut out and cleared, and Down goes Braga. He's wanting the free kick. He's got it, so I'm not sure why he's... Looked like he was having a pop at the linesman over there, maybe having a go at Liam Scales as well, as he was hauled to the ground, and will be a Hearts free kick on the touchline.
Milne was lucky there. Did you see it? Milne's gone over and actually shoved him, Scales, and I mean, he could have got a booking for that alone.
The referee's not ready. Hearts are now ready to take this free kick. Again, it's right in front of Derek McInnes. McEntee plays it short to his left there. It's Kingsley, long drifting ball into the Celtic box, headed by Halkett back towards the 18-yard line. Celtic can clear, and Tynecastle, lovely touch, and it's obstructed there by McEntee. There was an offside before that, so it will be I think the free kick given for the offside rather than the obstruction that
very lucky.
you heard Pat.
He's lucky because Liam, he's almost gone with his forearm across Tynecastle and took him out.
Well, Hatate's offside, so he'd be better not chasing the ball to the left. Tynecastle's onto it now. It's Hatate's in the box at the byline, pulls it across and behind. It goes, but there will be no corner because there was an offside, and that was because Hatate was made a move for the ball, clearly in an offside position, and although he didn't touch it, Tynecastle got it. He rolled it to Hatate, who had been offside, and that will be a free kick to Hearts.
Yeah, the rule would... I think I would agree with the referee with that one, because he did make an effort to go for the ball and then checked out, so he wasn't in offside position initially.
Will be a Hearts free kick, then Schwolow to take inside his own box. 24.5 minutes played. It's 1-1. To come later, remember, Aberdeen-Hibernian. That is a 2:30 kick-off at Pittodrie, with Rangers Kilmarnock getting underway at 3. Commentary from Ibrox as Rangers look to win a league game at home for the first time this season. And Danny Rule's first game at Ibrox. Aberdeen Hibs, will be regular updates from that one, highlights of all 3, and a look back at yesterday on Sports Scene this evening.
I've got to say, I think Celtic have settled really well into this game after that opening first, probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They're almost in control of the game now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's been a bit of a blow for Hearts to concede that goal.
It's a big switch for Celtic, out to Nygren, right angle of the box. It's the cross in, it's poor, it's easily away by McEntee. Celtic still have it though here, and it's right to the centre circle. Murray flashes it to his left for Tierney. Now back to Scales in the halfway line, then to Tierney. He used to go all the way back to Schmeichel with Shankland hounding him. That's something that's kind of gone relatively unnoticed this season because of the fact they've taken 22 out of 24 points, but Hearts pressing the game out of possession has been a huge reason as to why they've made such an impressive start to the campaign.
Yeah, and it's not Lawrence Shankland's real asset, is it? You know, closing people down now, but he's working hard for his team.
And I think the two up front alongside him have got bundles of energy.
One ball, Shankland chasing. Murray wins the header first though. Tierney finds it, nods it into midfield for McGregor, who finds Tynecastle, slips it to Hatate. Beningame with a challenge to win it back, and then the foul by McGregor on Devlin. Will be a free kick to Hearts. Cammy Devlin, looks as though he's wanting Callum McGregor booked for that. Will be a free kick to the home team. They've got the decision, then McGregor and Devlin have a little pushing match, and the Hearts supporters all howling their derision at the Celtic captain, who scored his first goal of the season to bring the champions level against the league leaders. 4 minutes after going behind to that Dane Murray OG, the two of them are still at it. It's Craig, unlike Cammy Devlin, to get involved in something like that, isn't it?
I was just going to say, when will his booking be? Certainly it'll be in the first half, I'm sure of that. But yeah, I mean, two feisty characters, eh?
Well, that's the end of it. A lecture from referee McLean as the Hearts fans unveil a banner of their former captain, Scottish Cup winning captain Maria Salukis. An anniversary of his passing. Remember, the news broke when Hearts were playing a Scottish Cup semi-final against Hibs at Hampden, as the free kick comes into the box, but it's poor from Harry Milne this time, and it drifts behind harmlessly for the goal kick. 1-1 here at Tynecastle.
Hearts had overloaded almost on the left-hand side. I think it was Finlay that was sort of almost free, and he was looking for that driven ball to be right over the top, but the accuracy wasn't there.
Ryan McGowan, former Hearts defender's working for TV today to my left. An emotional moment for him. That was his captain, of course, when they beat Hibs in that final. Indeed, McGowan scored in that final. As Hearts take a throw in on this left-hand side. Kingsley with it. Back down the line for Kizaridis. A poor switch of play there. Goes straight to Tynecastle and out with Hatate. Hatate's to go back to Schmeichel, though. There's no room. Hearts strangling the game in the midfield. And Scales picks up, shows himself inside, and Shankland under pressure he was. He finds Schmeichel, he finds Dane Murray. Still Shankland chasing. Long ball forward, comes slicing off the outside of the boot of Halkett back towards his own goal, but Hearts can clear through McEntee. McGregor has it, then Tynecastle. Infield to Hatate. Steps away from Beningame, but he's been robbed by Devlin. Devlin then looking for Shankland, gets too much on it and goes out for a throw-in. But the Hearts supporters, listen, it's not rocket science when a football team is out there performing, whether they're on the ball or not. When they can see the effort the players are putting in, the pressing when they're not on the ball. When a pass goes awry, it doesn't matter. The intent is correct.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've got Lawrence Shankland doing it.
Yeah.
And that, as we spoke about earlier on, isn't one of his biggest assets. It's stamina, you know. So, and I think it's really interesting just now, this midfield battle, who wins the second balls. Because I thought Hearts at the beginning of the game were very good at it, but Celtic are kind of taking over a little bit now.
It's with Colby Donovan on this near side as Celtic do some attacking. Now at Engels, level with the 18-yard line of Hearts. Steps in field away from Kizaridis and finds Hatate. Back out to Donovan, gets the ball in, but it's Schwolow gathering. Nygren didn't get there quickly enough. Kenny was waiting in behind. It stays Hearts 1, Celtic 1 as we knock on the half hour here in the capital.
Yeah, really good composed play from Celtic again. They're working the ball through the thirds of the pitch really, really well. Getting it, that was a really good ball in from Donovan. He just needed maybe a half yard of more of a curl on it, and it would have created a problem for the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper seen it all the way.
It's McEntee on Tierney. Free kick Celtic on the far side. And there's no malice in the challenge of McEntee. It's two players going for the ball. Just so happened Tierney got there first.
Yeah, it's one of them where you've got to stick your head in, Craig.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was a handball, though. I thought it was a handball. I thought McGregor headed it on to McEntee's in his hand, I think it was. So, yeah, it was an honest challenge. Both of them had their eye on the ball.
When Roman Bednar's goal defeated Rangers 1-0 here on week 8 of the season 20 years ago, it moved Hearts 5 points clear of Celtic, 5 points clear that they are right now, with the tantalising prospect of an 8-point advantage if they win this game. Potentially next week a double-figure advantage, because this time next week Celtic will be getting ready for the League Cup semi-final against Rangers at Hampden. Hearts would of course much rather be looking forward to a semi-final as well, but they'll have the chance, depending on what happens in their respective games in midweek and what happens between now and full time, to build up a substantial lead at the top. A lot to happen before that becomes a possibility, though. Celtic give it away. It's Harry Milne under pressure, gives it back to McEntee on his 18-yard line. Tierney galloping down on him, he clears it with the right foot, comes off Scales from the long ball and out for a Hearts throw-in level with the edge of the centre circle in the Celtic half, taken quickly by Milne, down the line for Braga. Back to Milne in field, looking for Shankland, cut out by McGregor, and it breaks all the way back into the Hearts half. As McEntee rolls it back to Halkett, into the midfield for Beningame, back to Finlay, and then they work it out to Kingsley on the left-hand side. It's well played by the league leaders, and it's Kizaridis driving towards the box. He plays it across, comes back off the defender and wide. It was almost a second own goal. This time Colby Donovan, who's mightily relieved that it's just a corner. It stays 1-1 on 32. That looked like it was heading for that far corner again.
Either that or Mullen. It looked like Mullen might just get a toe to the back post, but yeah, it was a touch fortunate, I would say, that Celtic didn't find themselves 2-1 down.
Yeah, because Aridas gets the ball. As soon as he gets the ball, the first thing in his mind is going to attack Colby Donovan really with pace, and it was a really good ball in initially. Low and hard, difficult to deal with.
Here after a fabulous season in Slovakia, did Kizaridis scored 16 as the corner comes in from Milne. The header towards the goal is headed away by Engels. Now breaks to Devlin. Rolls it out wide left for Kizaridis. Takes a touch and crosses in with the right and headed away by Murray. Looks like a foul on Tynecastle by Devlin. He's got his arms up in innocence. And there is a Celtic free kick which Callum McGregor tried to take quickly, but the ref reckoned the ball was still rolling, so you get another opportunity to take it. You'll be happy because it came all the way through to Svolov anyway. Tynecastle look good. I've seen him a couple of times, obviously, but he looks like a real possible spark for Celtic, doesn't he? Amidst this relatively gloomy period.
It's incredible, though, that a lot of wingers now play on the opposite side with their their strong foot, and that forces them kind of almost on the inside. Now he can go on the outside, but you'll see him almost with his right foot. And on opposite side here, Nygren is with his left side playing on the right side. So it's a different way of wide players or wingers.
Hatate finds Donovan, decides to go for glory himself and drags it well wide to the left-hand side of the goal frame. And that will be a goal kick to Hearts. Craig Levine.
Brendan does that though, doesn't he? I mean, he quite often, puts a right-footed player on the left-hand side.
Yeah, well, listen, we've seen it with Palma. I think Balikwisha is exactly the same, but they all want to play on the opposite side. So it allows them more space maybe to come on the inside, and that's, for me, I think, yes, you can come on the inside, absolutely. If you take James Forrest, he's an example, he can go both ways, and that's kind of really what you're looking for.
Hearts have a problem with Kizaridis, who's going to have to get, I think, some kind of attention here from the medics. He's gone down, so there'll be a stoppage in play here. Kizaridis, I mean, he's made it from this side of the pitch to almost the other side, so I'm not sure why he wasn't able to go off the actual playing field itself, and he's just dumped himself down on the ground and on the pitch, and now he is being helped off. I'm not sure what his problem is, but Hearts will be hoping he's okay. I think it's just a cut somewhere, so he's making his way off right now, so they'll be hoping to get him back on as soon as possible as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the first half here, with the scores 1-1.
Yeah, and Liam, it's a vital 10 minutes, isn't it? If you can get a goal in that period, take you in at half time, you don't want to lose a goal for sure, but I always find that's a critical time, the last 10 minutes of a half.
Svolov long with the right foot, one in the air by Scales, who heads it out for a Hearts throw-in, and back onto the pitch comes Alexandros Kizaridis. Having an excellent maiden season here at Tynecastle. Throw-in for Hearts, Milne to take over on the right-hand side. Bowls it forward there, it's headed into the box towards Braga, with his back to goal, controls, 3 Celtic players around him, he's managed to get away from them all, he goes down, no free kick, breaks back towards Braga, and then McGregor nicks it away from Beningame. Nygren clears, long with the left foot, it's going to come all the way through to Svolov. Didn't look favourite there, Claudio Braga. He had 3 green and white hoop shirts around about him, but he was very close to getting himself through.
Yeah, great skill. He shifted the ball up from one foot to the other, a very tight area.
Headed away by Tierney, breaks to Beningame, gets away from Tynecastle and rolls it to the right-hand side there for Milne. Milne with a switch, right to left for Kingsley. Under much pressure here, Kingsley. It's time to roll it out to Kizaridis on the left-hand side, gets the cross it towards the back post, and it goes behind for the goal kick.
Just a wee bit too much on the cross there, because Milne was coming in at the back post again, but just too much on the ball.
But he has the ability to go outside, putting in balls and in the inside, which he's shown that example.
Both, haven't we? Today.
You know what Kizaridis is doing every time? He cuts in field, attacking that angle of the box. So dangerous.
Well, earlier on he went on his left, and that was the one that went across, and Shanklin just got the wrong side. So I mean, it can go both ways.
But he likes to cut in field, because then he gets a sight of goal, and we've already seen him dispatch from distance this season. And Celtic, loose ball out of play for a throw-in to Hearts on the near side, which Kingsley takes on the halfway line and bowls it back to Halkett. Square to McEntee, who goes back to Svolov. The Hearts goalkeeper, right-footed, giving it straight to Hatate. It's not a great ball now to Tynecastle. Hatate goes outside him. That's where the pass goes. Hatate back to Tynecastle in the box, pulls it back, chance. Nygren! Oh, it's been blocked. He tried the chip. Kingsley put something on that, and Celtic have to set up in the corner when they should be 2-1 up.
What was he thinking, Pat? What was he thinking? He could just strike the ball into the back of the net, and he tried to be too clever.
He tried to be clever. He thought the first one was going to be blocked, so they dragged it back and then tried to put it in the back of the net. The goalkeeper got the block on it, but it was an incredible chance for Celtic. I said it going into half-time.
Yeah,
wow.
exactly.
The goalkeeper and defender have got no right to prevent that from going in. It's Engels crosses the corner and it's away by Findlay. Bouncing ball headed back towards the Hearts area by Tynecastle. Hearts clear now with Scales looking for Engels, but it's another mishit pass and it's out of play for the Hearts. Throwing on this near side. I mean, Benjamin Nygren was guilty of missing chances galore on Thursday night. That's another one. He should have another goal. Celtic should be 2-1 up in this game. 7 to the break. It stays 1-1.
Yeah, he gets into great positions, brilliant positions inside the box as a midfielder. But you know, his finishing ratio is not good at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, for any attacking player, that's a one-touch finish, isn't it? Really, I mean, I don't think he needed to drag the ball back and try and make the defender look foolish.
Chvolov's relieved because it was his poor delivery that set up the chance as Hearts come up the other end. Braga, left angle in the box, out to Kizaridis. Back to Kingsley, gets the cross in, headed away by Scales, flicked away by Tynecastle. Awkward bounce for Johnny Kenny. Halkett's going to get onto it. He's tried to turn it back to Findlay as well to step away from Tynecastle. It's very coolly done by Stuart Findlay as the sun breaks through the dark skies above here in Edinburgh. Hearts give it away. It's with Tierney over on that left-hand side. Showed too much of it to Milne. It's gone off Tierney last and out for a Hearts throw-in.
Yeah, hesitation from Tierney there. He could have passed that ball and he kind of took an extra touch.
Tried to buy a free kick, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Definitely, referee called it right.
Halkett finds Milne and then infield to Devlin. Into the centre circle with Findlay just inside the Celtic half. It's out to Kizaridis, low ball on this left-hand side. Faced by Nygren. Kizaridis, his cross is blocked by Nygren, then headed away by McGregor. Halkett gets there ahead of Kenny, and it's now with Beningame. He goes back to Devlin. Devlin does well. He's found Milne in a bit of space, right-hand side, attacking the Celtic box. Here it's Milne. Into the area he goes. He tried to stab it back to Shankland and blocked by Engels. Now it's McEntee heading towards the final 5 minutes of the opening 45. Hearts 1, Celtic 1. Devlin dinks it into the box. It's with Braga with his back to goal. And then out wide it comes across from McEntee, and Shankland's hooked effort towards goals blocked. The Hearts fans claimed by a Celtic arm. It stays 1-1.
No, it wasn't his arm, it was his body, I think. It was good defending, actually, got really tight to Shankland.
Good attempt by Shankland, though, because it's a difficult skill to try and manipulate your body into a position where you would have been able to score there. It was just behind him. Shankland back to Beningame now, right at the centre circle, in the Celtic half, forward to Milne, first time to Braga, lays it back to Shankland, takes a heavy touch, he's still on it though, left-hand side of the box, shoots, blocked by Murray. Breaks to Nygren, who goes back to Tierney, who clears with the left foot. Anywhere will do. Hearts enjoying themselves these last few minutes since that huge chance for Benjamin Nygren up the other end.
Shankland would be kicking himself. I think he was trying to fashion an opportunity, and a couple of heavy touches there, which is most unlike him round about the penalty box.
Yeah, you're right. The space was there, wasn't it, to get a shot away.
Long ball forward, the comfortable header for Colby Donovan, in field to Murray. He finds McGregor, then back to Murray. He's under pressure from Devlin. He's got it back to Schmeichel and clears. Taking a couple of chances in the game, Dane Murray, the man whose own goal put Hearts in front early in proceedings. Sliding in Devlin again. He's been excellent today. Cammy Devlin, as Nygren battles with Kizaridis on the near side, and eventually it's Donovan up into the air. The header from Braga goes the wrong way, and it's been into the path of Benjamin Nygren on this near side. Rolls it in field and gives it straight back to Hearts with Halkett. Another unforced error from Celtic.
Yeah, that's again on his right foot, uncomfortable to pick the right pass.
Big switch out to Kizaridis on this near side. Up against Donovan. Drops the shoulder, back onto his right, then back onto his left. Low ball across, corner as it comes through to Schmeichel. It is a Hearts corner kick as we get closer to the half-time interval here, with the scores at 1-1.
Yeah, it's been a great game.
It's ebbed and flowed, isn't it? It's back and forward, and one team dominating for 5 or 10 minutes, and then the other team. And it's been a very even contest, I think, Pat.
I agree, totally agreed. Hearts started off so well. Celtic came into it then and really dominated for a period, and now Hearts are finishing this half on the front foot.
A proper slugfest between the top two. Coming into this weekend, there was a bigger gap between second and third and 12th, which is incredible when you consider how bunched up the rest of the Premiership is just now. These two way out on top, Hearts in particular, 5 clear as the corner comes into the back post, comes off a Celtic head behind for another one, but the referee, I think, has spotted a foul, so it'll be a Celtic ball rather than another Hearts corner, and it will stay 1-1.
Hearts had an overload at the back post there. I think there was definitely an extra one player in the back area.
And I was going to say, Craig, I think Schmeichel's got to come there and punch that. You know,
yeah,
he's got to help it on his way.
Yeah,
because they're under severe pressure at the back post with 2 or 3 players.
Yeah. I think the cluster of players in that area, maybe didn't want to go for it, to try and push his way through his own players to get to it, you know.
Celtic currently 5 points worse off than they were after 8 games last season. And they dropped points to Aberdeen in a 2-2 draw, but they'd won all the other ones. So when Aberdeen started last season really well, Celtic stayed with them. On this occasion, though, there's been a fallibility about the champions that simply hasn't been there really since the season played behind closed doors when Rangers won the title. And with both those Glasgow Giants struggling a little bit, and Celtic losing in the league for the first time last season, but generally it's been a struggle for them to get into top gear. Hearts looking to make hay while they can, as we go into the final minute of the opening 45, plus whatever Stephen McLean adds on at the end. Murray rolling it back to Schmeichel, who will then find Scales. And back to the Celtic keeper. Schmeichel to his right for Murray, and then to Schmeichel, who finds Scales. Of course, the only points Hearts have dropped this season was in that 3-3 draw with Motherwell, and even then, you look at that game, they were 3-0 down, so point gained. And that long one comes through all the way to Svalov, who gathers.
Yeah, Celtic have got the ball at the back. They're working the ball, trying to look for a bit of movement ahead of them. And yes, it was a poor pass there from Scales, but he had very little options to play. I
think that's been the case for most of the game, Pat. I mean, there was a spell after Hearts started well where Celtic took control, but they've kind of lost control again.
It's Kizaridis for Hearts on the near side. 2 minutes being added, we're into the first of them. Kizaridis knocks it off. Donovan behind for another Hearts corner. He started the game on fire. They're looking to end the first half in similar fashion here. There will be a chance for Kizaridis to take the corner in swinger from this near side as they attack the school end. Right at the end of the opening period here. There's a bunch of players on the 18-yard line. There's a couple of maroon shirts in the 6-yard box, and it comes towards the back post. Schmeichel gathers well. He claimed it comfortably in the end, did Kasper Schmeichel, and it stays Hearts 1, Celtic 1.
Yeah, the defenders did well there, blocking. Really good, really good.
There's Donovan for Celtic on this near side, and he rolls it back to Murray. In field to McGregor, he sweeps it to Scales to his left.
He's got to get something ahead of him there, Scales. You know,
Kenny was offside there as well. That's careless.
He was lazy, actually.
Yeah.
He didn't get back on side when he saw the ball was going to be played long.
Yeah, because Tierney's square of him, he needs movement from Tynecastle, either coming on the inside or Johnny Kenny running that channel when he gets the ball. Scales, you just can't stand and watch and hope that he's going to pick it past you.
We are well into the second of the 2 minutes that were added on at the end. It will be Svalov to take the free kick for that previous offside. Long with the right foot to the edge of the Celtic box. Scales wins the header. Then comes off Peningame. McEntee gets in there ahead of McGregor, forces it up into the air. Devlin with a header forward. Tierney wins the header. Then Nygren touches it back to Schmeichel. Milne giving chase. Schmeichel slices it, and it's out for a Hearts throw in on the near side. There might not be much time to take this, though. Stephen McLean's had a look at his watch, and he actually has blown the half-time whistle. And it is all square at the interval. And an action-packed game. It normally is when these two go head-to-head here in Edinburgh. And today has been no different. Hearts leading on 8 minutes. A Dane Murray own goal after Kasper Schmeichel had produced a wonderful save to keep out Claudio Braga's header. Shankland collected the scraps, right-hand side, fired it across, and Dane Murray slashed it into the roof of his own net. There was a lead that would only last 4 minutes, though, as the Celtic captain Callum McGregor's first goal of the season brought the champions level against the league leaders after terrific work by Tynecastle and Tierney to his left. The best chance since then fell to Celtic, and Benjamin Nygren inexplicably decided to take a touch or two more than he actually had to, and his effort was blocked and went behind for the corner with the goal gaping right in front of him. Hearts have threatened as well at other points in what's been a game that's gone from one end to the other. Really entertaining, fair in the early kick-off in the Premiership this Sunday afternoon here on Sports Sound. We're at half-time at Tynecastle Park. It is Heart of Midlothian 1, Celtic 1.
Scottish football lives here.
What a goal! This is Sports Sound
From BBC Radio Scotland. This is the incredible story of a player rejected by his boyhood club to rise from the ashes and become Serie A's most valuable player.
He was literally enshrined in a part of Naples.
Mick Fratima to the Napoli faithful.
Means brother in Neapolitan dialect.
We're going back to learn about how McTominay was made. This is Scott McTominay, our brother of Naples, on the Scottish Football Podcast. Listen on BBC Sounds.
And of course, you can also listen Monday to Friday to the Scottish Football Daily Podcast, which is also available through BBC Sounds or wherever you pick up your podcasts. We have got 2:30 kick-off at Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Hibernian. Willie Miller will provide regular updates from that one, and we'll have our second live commentary of the day at 3 o'clock from Ibrox as Rangers take on Kilmarnock, and then you can settle back, enjoy your Sunday evening and watch all the action from all three matches today and the three Premiership games yesterday on Sports Scene. That's at 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. In terms of the head-to-head at Tynecastle, Dane Murray's early own goal cancelled out fairly quickly by Callum McGregor, who has now scored in 12 successive Premiership seasons, joining James Forrest on that mark. The only two players who have scored in 12 of the 13 seasons played since the league was reconstructed back in 2013. James Forrest, of course, has the opportunity at some point over the coming months to make it 13 straight seasons. But McGregor's goal was important to get Hearts having taken the lead to draw Hearts back level. And you've got to say from that point onward, in fact, prior to that even, Tom English, it's been a much more even contest after what was a very strong start by the home side.
Yeah, exactly, Richard. Really strong side for Hearts. Pressing forward all the time, forward passes, dynamism. They get the goal. Celtic respond very quickly, and then Celtic took over for a little bit. McGregor was inspiring there. I think Hearts couldn't get close enough to him. I think Derek McInnes was demanding that these players get a lot closer to him. I think they did. And then Hearts, for the last 15 or 20 minutes of the half, I thought they were well on top. A lot more action down the Celtic end, with Hearts attacking than the other way around. And I think it's a really exciting game. Every time Kirsarides gets the ball, I think there's energy in the stadium. Maybe similar for Tynecastle for the Celtic fans. But Nygren, he's missed a sitter, but he hasn't contributed a whole lot. Johnny Kenny, he's just got no presence up there at all. So I think the Hearts attacking threat is greater than the Celtic attacking threat right now.
We had those two early goals, Tom. Only a couple of real close things thereafter, I guess. As you mentioned, Nygren, and he just took far too much time and tried to be too clever, didn't he, for that one? And prior to that, there was a near-own goal from Colby Donovan, and actually Harry Milne was a fraction from making contact with the ball at the far post to slide it in. So that's perhaps an indication as to how equal, how level the game has been, that neither side has been able to create too many chances thereafter.
Yeah, they haven't. And again, that near second own goal, Kirsarides is at the start of that as well.
Yeah.
So I think they need to, if they get the ball out to him more, he just looks so dangerous. And I think Celtic are a bit panicked when he does get the ball. Braga is covering an awful lot of ground, looks dangerous as well. Shankland looks sharp. So I mean, I think Hearts are the better side. I know it's, in terms of chances and possession, is probably very close. But on the flow of play and in terms of the threat that the both teams carry, I think Hearts have the edge, even though it's level.
What we have seen, I think, is confirmation. I think we all anticipated this in the opening 45 minutes, that there is that self-belief for those Hearts players. I talked previously about the amount of times there's been a potential challenge to Celtic or indeed Rangers at various points over the years, and it's all kind of petered out. But it feels to me like this Hearts group have absolute self-belief, and that's why they are so very much in this contest.
Yeah, and they look like a team that believes that they can win this game. They're not, a draw is not good enough for them, because they're really attacking this game. They're attacking Celtic. They believe that, and it's very obvious, they believe they're as good as Celtic, if not better than Celtic. They're not kowtowing to Celtic. They're not being passive. They're aggressively attacking Celtic. That's what we thought they'd do, and they're stepping up. Second half, gosh, it's going to be really, really interesting to see if there is a winner in this game. But it's lived up to the billing, Richard, I think, so far.
Yeah, Craig Levein, for both managers, is it a case of telling the players just get back out there and do exactly what you've been doing in the opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think there's a kind of frantic, or there has been a kind of frantic nature to the game at times, and I spoke a little bit about these second balls, and I think that Benigni and Devlin are excellent at it. But I think Celtic have been really good today in getting up on top of things, and and they've been running in behind and trying to stretch the Hearts defence. I still think McGregor's the one that brings the kind of calmness, and that he manages to settle everybody down and get the passing flowing again for Celtic. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what I expected. I expected it to be really close, and it has been so far. Not an awful lot of goal mouth action, but I think there's enough edge in the game to make it really interesting.
Just watched a rerun of the Celtic goal, just as you were talking about Callum McGregor, and actually you look at it, and when he slides it into the net, there are 5 Hearts players kind of around him in the vicinity. But it's the cleverness that McGregor shows, isn't it, just to make sure that he has that yard of space and the composure to make the finish. He's always looking
around, and the reason for that is he wants to recognise how close the opponents are, and he is the best in Scotland for me at finding pockets of space which cause people problems. Because one defender will look at him and say, well, I don't know if I've quite got him or my teammates quite got him. And that's because he's constantly moving.
Yeah.
And when you move to react to what he does, he moves again.
I think it was evident in that first half. Obviously, Hearts did start off really well. I don't totally agree with Tom when he says that Hearts is the better team. I think Celtic could have capitulated in that moment when they lost the goal. But he actually showed fantastic strength of character. And you're right, McGregor was the man. He actually pushed further forward in that period. He always was getting in between the lines. Benigni was pulled out because he went on to Ingles, who was dropping a little bit deeper into wide areas and creating the space. But McGregor recognised that space, and he went into it, and he was actually becoming a real threat, and he was making the game.
He doesn't just recognise space for himself, he recognises space for other people.
Yeah.
So he moves to allow somebody else to take up the space.
Absolutely, and he drifted back later on in the game, and that'd give Hart maybe an edge to get back into it in that end of that first half. But ultimately, Celtic could have packed it in after that, because they were really under pressure.
You wouldn't expect them to pack it in, though.
Well, no, but they could have, with a young team, nervous team, lacking
not that young. They have a couple of young players and a lot of inexperienced players. But
what I'm saying is that they responded really well.
No question.
And I've got to hand it to them, and that leadership from Callum probably allowed that to happen. I would like to see a little bit more movement higher up the pitch. Tynecastle stays wide. We've always come to the point when somebody running on the inside, we talk about him getting the ball, but he running without the ball, maybe creating a little bit more. Johnny Kenny's the one that'll run the channel more. Doesn't come to the ball as much as you would probably like him. But then the wide players need to make those runs beyond. Johnny Kenny's the one always is making the runs.
He's only had 9 touches in that half, Johnny Kenny.
Yeah, no, listen, I fully agree, and that's the way Celtic play. Take any striker, they won't have a lot of touches and that. But ultimately, I would like to see him maybe, the other thing with strikers I find is that because Celtic play with touch, pass, they don't almost make the move quick enough down the channel. Sometimes you see him, come on, especially when Colby Donovan got the ball in the right back position. He's looking for that run, but it's almost a wee bit too late. And that's something that he can improve, I think, in his game to be effective in this team.
Yeah, Tom mentioned that he... Sorry, I'll come back to you, Craig, but just on that, Pat, Tom mentioned that he felt there was no presence really from Kenny, and there have been a number of opportunities when he has got in behind. Is it an afternoon where Celtic, it goes without saying, they'd rather have Kelechi Iheanacho, but is his absence being highlighted this afternoon?
They would love to have Kyogo.
Well,
that's the kind of player. That's the kind of player that really causes you problems. He's coming to the ball. He's going. He's almost 2 or 3 movements, and he's really, really quick. That's the type. Maeda also had that when he played through the middle. That quickness of pace. Desperately, Craig, you can talk about centre halves when you play in that position. Speed is a
you
problem.
You need if you're playing against a striker, strikers tend to have specialities, if you want to put it that way. Like Shanklin's a certain type of striker, and you know that you can squeeze the game with him, because if you're quicker, obviously, you can squeeze the game and try and make him play in a tighter space. But then you come up against guys whose main threat is their athleticism, which again is, when you're playing against a Shanklin who just wants to drop off and another striker who wants to run in behind, as a centre-back sometimes, that's when miscommunication happens between the back line. So
Celtic don't have that. They only play with one striker most of the time. That's what I'm saying about midfielders or wide guys making that run. So if Johnny Kenny then, if he comes to the ball, he either gets the ball with a bit of space, maybe, or somebody else is running the channel. It's easy to read when he's up there on his own.
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention was the comparison between the finish from Callum McGregor and Engels' attempt.
Yeah.
The simplicity of what Callum did was like so obvious. One touch finish, that's what it called for. I think the same thing should have been.
I think it was Negrin, the one at the back post you're talking about. The one with his.
When he tried to dink it when he should have hit it first time.
Yeah, he should have. Like Callum hit it simply first time, put the ball in the back of the net. He tried to do something a little bit, made the goal better, but you can't make it go any better. You don't get 1.5 goals, do you? So that was a critical moment for me, because that was a wonderful chance, isn't it?
Wonderful chance, yeah.
Well, he certainly missed. He was missing chances midweek as well, wasn't he, Negrin? Can either side then find that little bit extra that they're going to require in the second half to emerge victorious from this one? It's so early in the season, Tom, but does it still feel like a huge 45 minutes ahead, given how the league table sits right now?
I think so. Like, particularly if Hearts manage to win this game, and they go the 8 points ahead, and they land a psychological blow on Celtic. I think that would be a fairly just a huge result for them. If it's a draw, then we are. If it's Celtic win, that's going to be a big moment for Brendan Rodgers. He's been under the cosh for a little while now. If they get a win out of this against a team that have been flying, despite being missing so many players today, Celtic, what a boost that will be. What a feel good that will be for Brendan Rodgers. So I think there's an awful lot, even though it's painfully early in the season, I think this portion of the season, there's a lot at stake here in the next 45 minutes.
Just looking at the two benches, Craig, is it fair to say Hearts, and I suppose the fact they've been unchanged for 5 games, suggests they have got their strongest lineup there. Do you see any potential replacements who can come on to change the game for either side as you look at the subs?
I've still got this little idea in my head that Kabangu's going to be a player who will come good. I think his athleticism, his strength, he can run with the ball, he can run without the ball. He's decent in the air. And I like when he comes on the field. I'm not saying that the guys who are on there just now aren't contributing in a major way, but I feel he's one that I think could come on. I also like Blair Spittle. Yeah. I think Blair Spittle's a really, very good technically, and he's got a real calmness about him. And maybe at some point in the second half of Hearts might need that if they can get get in front and try to get some control back in the match. So those are the two that I would.
And Ajew for Hearts. I know he's only played 20-25 minutes against Livingston.
I've not seen much on Tom. I don't.
They rave about him.
Right.
Oh, now in 25 minutes, it's only 25 minutes, but he looked class.
Right.
In 25 minutes. Now, what you can gauge from that? But he looks a very, very good player.
Right. What type of player is he, Tom?
He's a clever midfielder, creative, great vision, great passing range of passing. Just looks an intelligent footballer.
Yeah.
Quick.
We'll see if he has a part to play, or indeed if there are any of the Celtic subs come on and turn out to be the hero for the day. Both sides back out. It is tied up at 1 apiece between Heart of Midlothian and Celtic. Full live second half commentary coming up here on BBC Radio Scotland, on Sports Sound, also on Sports Extra and Sports Extra 3. It is Hearts against Celtic. Our commentary team, of course, are Craig Levine, Pat Bonner and Liam McLeod.
Denny McInnes looking to improve on a record against Brendan Rodgers of just 3 wins in 22 attempts. As manager of Aberdeen and Kilmarnock, as Celtic get the second half underway, the green and white hoops going right to left, where their small band of 600 supporters are crammed in the top right section of the Roseburn stand. Off to our left as we watch this game from high up at the back of the Wheatfield. And it's back with Schmeichel. No changes for either team at the start of the second half. Celtic in the green and white, Hearts in the maroon and white, as they shoot, as they tend to do, towards Gorgie Road in the second half. Celtic the ball over on the right hand side there with Johnny Kenny. He's done well that time as he comes back to Engels, who then rolls it back to Murray. Follow in goal for Hearts. McEntee, Halkett, Findlay, Kingsley, Milne, Beningame, Devlin, Kizaridis, Shanklin, Braga. For Celtic, Schmeichel in goal, Donovan, Murray, Scales, Tierney, Engels, McGregor, Hitate, Nygren, Tinecti, Kenny, as it comes back to Kasper Schmeichel at the edge of his box. It's a match that's in the balance, no doubt about that, as Schmeichel dinks it into the centre circle and Kenny is fouled by Halkett as Celtic try and get the game started quickly again there, but the ref isn't ready as he continues to preside over matters, Stephen McLean. But Hearts sitting on 22 points. Craig, it took them until January last season to get to 22.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic start. I think that's where all the excitement's coming from, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, the full house again here at Tynecastle, and everybody's on tenterhooks.
No, absolutely. As Findlay wins it back for Hearts inside his own box. Celtic made nothing of that as a long clearance comes all the way through to Schmeichel. And then bowl it to Scales. Tierney to his left. Forward it comes from Scales to Tinecti. Under pressure from McEntee. Tinecti flicks it forward to McGregor. Gives it back to Tinecti. Gets the break of the ball off McEntee. Fouled him. It will be a free kick. And well to avoid a yellow card there because it was a deliberate pull of the shirt or the arm. Anyway, Celtic have the game back underway quickly. Hitate out to Tierney. Level with the 18-yard line of Hearts. Now it's with Tinecti. Up against Milne. Trying to take him on. He's got rid of Milne. He's inside the box now. Tinecti. A couple of potential legs dangling in there, including McEntee, but it's bounced behind off. Tierney, says the referee, for a goal kick to Hearts, and it stays 1-1.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a corner, but the referee's right beside it.
It was a corner. I'm absolutely convinced of it. I think Harry Milne got a toe to it and pushed it behind.
Yeah, he's right beside the referee, so we feel he's made a mistake, but anyway, the game goes on. But just the difference between Celtic's kick-off and Hearts' kick-off, and you see in the first half, Hearts just played it long, get the pressure on, pushed them right back. Celtic taking it short, trying to get possession of it, but trying to control the game in a different way. It's interesting.
Celtic's equaliser today, Callum McGregor's first of the season, but also the first that Alexander Schwolov has conceded as a Hearts goalkeeper. It's his 5th appearance. Scales facing his own goal here is to turn it out for a throw-in under pressure from Braga. As Hearts come down the right side here, and we've got Harry Milne over the throw-in, which I think will be about level with the Celtic penalty spot on this near side. Milne waits over it. Celtic have everyone back to defend it. A huge half of football this is already in this early part of the season, and it comes off Scales' head. Not once but twice. Seconds not decisive. Milne back in, blocked by Tierney. Kizaridis wins it back for Hearts. Now it's Devlin out to this near side. It's Milne, gets his cross in. Braga wins the header, and it's going to flop into the gloves of Schmeichel, and it stays one apiece after 49 minutes.
Yeah, just getting that ball into the danger area, hoping that somebody's going to get first contact on it. At that time, it was just, they did get first contact, but it wasn't a great header up in the air, and Schmeichel had the easy task of just picking it up. Takes the heat out of that situation.
Donovan on the right, back to Murray, and then now with McGregor. Squares it to Scales. Left of the centre circle, passes it into the Hearts half for Hatate to McGregor, then back to Hatate. And the pressure from Beningame, back to Scales, and then Murray gives it away straight to Devlin, and Devlin and Beningame work a 1-2. It's back with Benny Beningame, turns away from Kenny. He wasn't there. Rolls it out to the left-hand side for Kizaridis. Showed a bit too much of it to Donovan. Well defended by the Celtic youngster. Engels manages to flick it through to Nigre. An early ball for Kenny. It's going to come all the way through though to Shvalov, and it stays Hearts 1, Celtic 1. Hearts making better use of the football, Craig, aren't they, this afternoon?
Yeah,
they're in possession.
Yeah, I think Beningame and Devlin are starting to get a little bit of control again. You know, I mean, the game's never been one team completely in control. It's gone back and forward from the start, but they look to be a little bit more at it in this half.
Good challenging there by Halkett. He won it on the halfway line ahead of Kenny, and it's come all the way through to Shankland, and Kizaridis was almost there, but Donovan sticks his toe out to put it behind for a Hearts corner.
You know, I was convinced Shankland was going to use that as a dummy and try and come bunt on the right side and strike it from just outside the box.
He's another one who'll be hoping to get the call from Steve Clark with the massive upcoming double-header next month against Greece and Denmark. Scotland 4 points away from the World Cup finals. Seems easy when you say it like that. In comes the corner. Findlay wins the header, nods it back the way. There's an effort to goal from Braga's blocked, and Tierney's able to lash the ball clear with the left foot.
He got up well, Findlay, but I thought he was climbing. You know, he's almost got both hands on top of. I don't know who was picking him up, but he was almost on his back, and he was way up above him. It was like an old rugby one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't a free kick. The referee didn't blow his whistle.
One apiece at Tynecastle. The top two in the Premiership. Biggest game of the Premiership season so far. Here's Harry Milne. Rolls it low to the edge of the D of the Celtic box for Braga. He's managed to squeeze it out to Kizaridis. Just at the edge of the box. He's on the right. He shoots. He scores! Well, just listen to Tynecastle. Listen to that roar from the Hearts fans. Their team has the lead back here against the champions. And it's wonderful from Alexandros Kizaridis. Tipped onto his right side and smashes it low into the bottom left from outside the area. Past the despairing Schmeichel. And the champions are in a whole lot of bother again in the capital. It is the league leaders, Heart of Midlothian 2, Celtic 1.
Well, firstly, what a wonderful goal, but I'm hugely surprised that Celtic have allowed him to cut back inside into that area. All he's done is opened the goal up, and instead of keeping him on his left side, because if he goes on his left side, they need two actions to score. One's a cross and one's a finish. If they let him inside onto his right foot with sight of goal, all he needs to do is hit the target, because there are players in front of the goalkeeper as well. But it's a wonderful goal. It's an absolutely brilliant goal. And listen, he's probably been the best attacking player on the field today up to this point. Yeah,
I agree. And listen, it is a great strike. And you're absolutely bang on about the defender from Celtic. Nygren has him. He has to push him on the outside. I hate it from a goalkeeper's perspective, and I know Schmeichel was almost given out unbelievably to his defenders. Either they were in his way or whatever.
There's another chance. Shankland's flicked it on. Braga, right-hand side of the box. Down he goes! Penalty! Penalty Hearts! Braga fouled by Murray in the Celtic box. And this is just a quite incredible moment coming up for Hearts. He will have an opportunity from the spot to go 2 goals ahead in their quest to go 8 points clear.
I think it will be checked. I thought he got a touch on the ball, I must admit, Craig. I don't know about you, but he shouldn't put his foot in. That's the first thing, because he's going nowhere.
Yeah, I thought it was silly to make the challenge.
Yes.
That was the first thing. But, I mean, we don't have sight.
There's a monitor behind you. If you're able to stretch your neck muscles enough to see it, there is a monitor behind.
Well, Ryan McGowan says it's a penalty, and that'll do for me.
He's nodding his head, the former Hearts defender. But they are checking at the VAR as Andrew Dallas. Hearts have just gone ahead again, and they're potentially going to have an opportunity here. They will have the opportunity because the penalty stands.
Yeah, listen, that young defender, he again probably panics a little bit because the ball's flicked on. Was it Braga? I think it was Braga that was on it. Yeah. So he's now 1v1 with him, but he's kind of almost facing away to the corner flag. He didn't really have to go and make a challenge. No. All he's do is just keep himself nice and steady between the goal and the player and the ball. And he puts his foot in. As soon as you put your foot in inside the box, you've got to make contact.
He's made a forward move.
Right.
He didn't need to.
Here, the huge moment. Lawrence Shanklin is going to take the spot kick. Corgi Road End at Tynecastle. Hearts, the latest great pretenders against the champions, looking for some serious daylight at the top of the league. Here goes Shanklin. That will be a right-footed penalty, which is converted beautifully into the bottom left, away from Schmeichel. And Heart of Midlothian, their fans are dreaming here, dreaming of the biggest title of the lot in this country, which hasn't been wrestled from Glasgow in 4 decades. Well, they look the real deal here, folks. Shanklin with a wonderful spot kick, and a scoreline right now of Heart of Midlothian 3, Celtic 1.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think any goalkeeper could get to that ball. I mean, it wasn't just the area he put it in. He hit it so hard. He hit it so hard. Yeah. And it was just a wonderful penalty.
Yeah, it's pace under pressure. Obviously, Schmeichel kind of dives high, doesn't he? He doesn't go low, and it goes. It was past him anyway before he got to that position.
I mean, this is the stuff of dreams for Derek McInnes, for Hearts, for their supporters. What they're witnessing here, when you consider the pain and torture they went through for a lot of last season, and indeed over the course of the last decade or more. Here comes Celtic with Tynecastle, ball into the Hearts box, blocked by Halkett, and now it's with Milne. That's an incredible few minutes. That this game is now
crazy,
firmly in the grip and grasp of the home team.
Yeah, I mean, they've started the second half better. I think there's been more intent in their play than there has been in Celtic's to this point.
Yeah, it kind of almost comes in again from the kickoff, as I described. You know, Celtic just trying to count the ball down, passing. Hearts, of course, going very direct, more direct. Even that ball there played up was flicked on. They're in behind Celtic, and it causes all sorts of problems. Two different almost styles of play, but you've got to question then what's the most effective inside this ground.
You've got to play to the players that you've got, if you know what I mean. So I mean, I think getting the ball forward quickly for Hearts is good to get it to those two really quick players in the front line, and that allows Shanklin to drop off and create stuff. But I mean, this has been I did suspect that Hearts would win the game today, but this is certainly in the second half has been wonderful.
57 on the clock, 3-1. Rodgers looking to his bench, triple change coming up. I think it's Forrest, Shinyamada and Balikwisha who are going to come on, but they're in an almighty hole here.
Yeah, listen, the third goal changes the whole complexion. I think even a 2-1 Celtic would have maybe come back into the game, but 3-1 now is going to be really, really difficult for them. Obviously, the atmosphere is raised again and inside this stadium, and Celtic players have got to respond somehow. If you can get a goal back, then I think the game's still on for them, but they've got to do it fairly quickly.
There's Hatate. He's given it away between he and Tynecastle in his own half. It comes back to Devlin, who'll go back to Halkett. Long ball from Craig Halkett. It's going to sail into touch for a Celtic throw-in. Level with the edge of the D of their own box, and I think the changes will be made here. Brendan Rodgers, he's just been shorn of 4 certain starters today in Johnston: Carter Vickers, Iheanacho and Maida. Hatate picks up and finds Tierney. Back to Scales. There's just a feeling around about here, Craig, right now. You can feel it from the Hearts supporters.
I just think it's a combination of so many positive things. I think Derek's come in and you know, he's done a marvellous job up to now. And also the backing of Tony Bloom, I think, is another thing that supporters are really, really happy about. And then Jamestown analytics as well. And you know, I mean, there's just so many things that are positive at this minute in time. And things like this, sometimes you still need more evidence. And you know, this performance today, if it finishes like this, is going to be a huge boost for Hearts. They will have the confidence to go on and you know, after this, if they do win, and I think they're going to be the team to beat in Scotland this season.
Serious chance there's a changing of the guard here this season. Hatate comes off, Tinecastle comes off, Kenny comes off. Balikwisha, Forrest and Yamada come on for Celtic. We're 2 down with half an hour to play. Hearts free kick, just outside the centre circle. And it will be Devlin to take. He rolls it to his left. He gets it back immediately, just outside the centre circle. Chip ball into the boxes. Flicked away there by Engels, and out it goes for a throw-in. The Hearts fans mocking the Celtic supporters. They do the Poznan, which of course the Celtic fans adopted some years ago, with big parts of Tynecastle celebrating right now in that manner. It's that small pocket of Celtic supporters up the other end, but it's Milne who shoots from distance, and it's a comfortable save for Schmeichel, who holds on. Hearts 3, Celtic 1, hour on the clock. And those 2 goals from Kizaridis and Shankland from the spot since the break have given the home team a real stranglehold on proceedings here. Celtic, Packy, do not look threatening at all. It was the same at Dundee last week.
Yeah, listen, they're keeping the ball at the back, and they're not. You know, that first half we described how McGregor took control. He was higher up the pitch. Now he's got deeper again. He has to go deeper, but they're not penetrating Hearts at this moment in time. Everything's almost in front of the Hearts, probably 8-9 players, and it's easier for them.
Nygren losing out to Beningame, another who's done a power of work this afternoon. Remember his debut against Celtic here a number of years ago, and Ange Postecoglou's first game in charge, and mightily impressive that afternoon to his injury problems. Nygren finds McGregor, and now it's Engels. Celtic attack, slipped left-hand side of the box for Kieran Tierney. First thing cross comes in towards Yamada, who heads harmlessly over the bar. In fact, it's come off the defender last, says the referee. And Celtic will have a corner over on the far side. There's no question they need the next goal if there's to be another one.
Yeah, that was better though. You know, again, working the ball through the thirds of the pitch. Again, McGregor stepping forward, which makes the difference. He's the one then that sets up the attack higher up the pitch.
Engels out swinging corner coming up. On the right side, the Celtic attack, the school end to the left, and it comes towards the 6-yard box, beating everyone though. And sails all the way out the other side, where it's collected by Balikwisha. He's faced by Braga. It's his cross ball, and it's poor. It's easily away by Halke. Header from Murray to Forrest. Nods it back to Murray, who goes all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel. This is going to sting. Celtic don't find a way to resurrect this game. I would have thought that the challenge would come from the east, even the other side of Glasgow is toiling even more so these days. And the thing is, Hearts have already been Ibrox and won comfortably. They're 3-1 up here against the champions. They've got nothing to fear this season, going by what we've seen so far. Engels slipping it through, looking for Balikwisha as McEntee gets there first and puts it behind for the corner. They win this game, nothing's going to scare them this season.
I think they're already at that stage. You know, at this game, coming into this game, I could detect a real confidence from Hearts players and from Hearts supporters.
Corner to Celtic on the near side to be taken by Engels. It's 63 minutes, Hearts 3, Celtic 1. Engels over the delivery here. It's into the near post. Another dreadful ball into the box, which is cleared by Shanklin. I mean, it almost looked like a lazy effort.
Yeah,
to get
it's
the ball
not
in the
like
box.
it's not like him. That's the one thing that he has. He's got quality.
Engels,
yeah, he's got quality. We said it the other night against Sturm Graz.
It's still harrying and chasing every seemingly lost cause. Celtic switch it out to the right with James Forrest. Forrest pushing it forward. It's gone straight to Beningame as he tried to get it to Yamada. Hearts give it straight back to Forrest on the far side. Braga slides in on him, and that's going to be a free kick, says the referee. Braga with his head in his hands, can't believe the decision. And someone's seemingly talked their way into the book. It's Kizaridis that's been yellow carded there. It was Braga's challenge. And Kizaridis has obviously been booked for dissent.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a tactic. They go in front of the ball to stop Celtic taking the quick each time, you know, and I think he's
kicked the ball away.
They made a movement to kick the ball away. And that's why he's been booked.
A crowd of almost 19,000 inside Tynecastle, right on top of the pitch here. It is an absolute bear pit. The home team, as it stands, going 8 clear. At the top of the Premiership. In from Engels. That would have looked much more at home across the railway line at Murrayfield as he boots it straight out for a goal kick.
That's a weakness for me, a mental weakness, and that's a couple now that he's tried to put into the box, and he's just overhit them.
Yeah,
you know,
it must be.
That's not what he normally does, is it? So he's obviously rattled.
He's not having a great season. And Packy says he played well against Sturm Graz the other night. He's not.
What I did say is his quality of ball from corners now was very, very good. Obviously, Brendan played it up as if he had a fantastic game. I didn't quite see it myself, to be perfectly honest.
It's an £11 million player, and that free kick has been sent straight into touch. Here's James Forrest back out to Donovan over on the right side. Long ball from him down the line. The header from Kingsley up onto the halfway line. Braga controls it in the chest but gives it straight to Nygren, who passes it down the line looking for Yamada. And that's going to be shielded out for a throw in by Stuart Findlay. For Hearts, deep inside their own half. Hearts 3, Celtic 1, almost in 66. It's going back down the years. Seldom remember a time when Celtic have looked so toothless.
Yeah, both old firm teams. I mean, there have been years where one's been not quite at it and the other one's done exceptionally well, but this is the first time I can remember that both teams have displayed weakness.
There's Nygren for Celtic, rolls it out to Balikwisha, I don't know where the ball was, and then loses out to McEntee and then fouls McEntee, and Hearts have a free kick on this near side. Hearts, I think, going to bring Adju on, the record signing for close to £2 million for a Tynecastle debut, belatedly. Craig Levine will be looking forward to seeing what he can provide for the closing 20-odd minutes.
I mean, and that must be Hearts' record ever.
Oh yeah,
money for a player, is it?
Yeah. Well, both Edinburgh clubs have broken their transfer records this year, haven't they? With Thibaut Clige going to
I remember Hearts signed Derek Ferguson a way back, I think, for about 800,000, which was unheard of. That was Wallace Mercer's era.
Here come Hearts. Is another effort on goal, which Braga, snapshot in the turn, is held on to by Schmeichel. 23 minutes left. Hearts 3, Celtic 1. And Craig doesn't need any reminding that coming up next May will be the 40th anniversary of probably the most heartbreaking day in Hearts history. It was a day of celebration for Pat Bonner, who's also beside me, but
that was to be reminded of that.
But that was the start of this period of Celtic Rangers dominance in the title, because that was Hearts so close to winning the title that year. Aberdeen had won it the year before, Celtic won it that season, Rangers won it the season after, and it's just flip-flop between the two. And obviously they both had periods of dominance in that time, but could it be that 40 years on from that heartbreak, the Hearts supporters are celebrating a title triumph?
Well, you know, after watching this, I mean, the game's not finished, well, obviously we recognise that, but, you know, after watching this and looking at Celtic and watching Rangers a couple of times recently, I don't, and Aberdeen aren't quite at it this season. Dundee United probably have a reasonable season, but it doesn't seem to be a team.
Hibs too many draws.
Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons to feel good about this, but we're still very early into the season.
That's the point, isn't it? You know, you can't get carried away. You've got to win every game.
Here's Forrest for Celtic as he looks to hit the byline. It's the cross in, headed away by Finlay. Breaks to Nygren, who nods it straight to Devlin, who clears. And that huge opportunity for Benjamin Nygren is coming right under the microscope now, the one he had in that first half, when he should have put Celtic ahead in the game. He didn't, and he's living to regret it now, because they are still 2 goals down, 3-1 at Tynecastle, almost on 69 minutes. Changes for both teams coming. Hearts are going to make 2 as Liam Scales passes the ball straight out of the pitch. The Celtic players are absolutely rattled.
Have you ever seen Shanklin run as much as this? Honestly, I'd like to see his stats after the game. He has worked tirelessly up front, and we would say that he's not one that his strength is closing people down, but he's been brilliant at that today.
Yeah, and just on that pass, you know, Tierney's running backwards to try to get a pass from Scales. He should have been opened up running forward, and that's been the big difference for me. And then Scales is obviously keeping his eye on the ball, not looking at him, and passes it out of play.
Too many mistakes, Pat.
Yeah.
You know, and in a number of areas, the forward line, midfield, and in the defensive line as well.
Yeah, and when you look at them at this moment in time, we keep talking about Callum McGregor being the one in the first half, but he's been doing that year after year. Who else are we talking about?
Anybody.
You know, and that's the problem. Scales is probably the best defender they have.
Yep.
You know, over the piece. But the rest of them, I don't see it. I don't see where the quality is at this moment in time. Hatate off the pitch now. Very poor first half. Very poor first half.
And McEntee is coming off. Steinwender replaces him, and Adju has come on for his home debut. Record signing. Joins from the Portuguese club Santa Clara. He was on loan in the second tier last season. Was promoted to the top flight as runners-up. Big money spent on him. The Hearts fans saw him briefly against Livingston. He's now on. And Hearts looking to see this out, or maybe even make it even better for themselves here, because this is also helping their goal difference. Celtic dropping a couple of goals, Hearts a couple more in the bank today. And in the final 20 minutes, 3-1 to the league leaders. Donovan picks up on the far side. Plays the ball towards Yamada and gives it straight back to Hearts, and Steinwender's onto it, driving forward. His pass comes bouncing off McGregor. Schmeichel will get to it though. And ricochet back into his own box. Schmeichel bowls it to his right. Kizaridis was the other player to come off incidentally there. Adju replacing he. Luke McCowan has come on for Nygren for Celtic. It's McCowan on the ball, forward, bounces off the back of Forrest's leg, back into Hearts possession with Kingsley, goes back to Shvolov. First time left-footed ball forward, bouncing in the midfield. McGregor gets his toe onto it. Beningame wins the header ahead of Engels. And then knocked forward by Dane Murray. McGregor for McCowan. He's managed to find Yamada. Balikwisha trying to stay onside. Yamada has it. Left-hand side of the box. The chance is gone. Ball head back to Tierney. Infield to Engels. Engels then squares it right to the centre circle for Murray. Murray then out onto the touchline for Forrest. Infield it comes to Donovan, forward to McCowan, back to Forrest. Forrest has managed to get it out wide right to Donovan. So now Engels gets the cross in and gives it straight to Shvolov, and it stays Hearts 3, Celtic 1.
You know what I'd be interested in knowing is how good the goalkeeper is, because every time I've watched Hearts, it seems he's not had to do he's not had to do anything.
That says all about the way they've defended, doesn't it?
They've been brilliant defensively.
Came in from Union Berlin. Did Alexander Shvolov did concede his first goal today, but it's not going to matter at all if it stays this way. His team leading 3-1. Yamada gives it away. And Celtic's just been an awful second half performance from them. Yamada gave it straight to Adju, but he can't take advantage of it. Celtic get it back, and it's with Engels. Sliding in Beningame. Comes to Tierney. Switched out to that far side for Forrest. Forrest's got Donovan outside him. Instead, Forrest chops in field. He's away from Beningame and then rolls it left to the centre circle for Tierney. Tierney, well, he thought about giving it to Balikwisha and then thought better of it and turns it infield to Murray. How pedestrian is this from the champions?
I think Forrest has brought a little bit of an edge. You know, he's trying to get on the ball and in the last third and make passes and run at people.
Yeah, he's still got plenty to offer, James Forrest, for sure, but he's 34 now. So they'll be betting on him turning the game round. Is a problem for Celtic as Shanklin gets the better of Scales, who recovers, makes the challenge, but it's broken to Milne, and suddenly Hearts could be in. He plays it to Braga, turns it to Adju, and Schmeichel saves. Now Shanklin rifles it up high, left-hand side of the box. Adju back in. The header's won there by Donovan, and Engels stabs it away. That was the chance to kill the game for Adju, and what a hero he would have made of himself there in his home debut. As Engels goes in, he's going to be booked. It's a poor challenge on Devlin, and that's just frustration from the Belgian. And Hearts have a free kick with 16 of the 90 to play. They have a 3-1 lead.
It was a very promising attack, wasn't it? A very quick attack.
It was a lovely turn by Shanklin in the middle of the pitch. For Skizz did well to get back at him. Maybe did lack a little bit of pace from Shanklin, but turn him in the middle of the pitch, and he could have maybe hit the pass a little bit quicker.
Yeah, a little bit quicker, and I think it would give more time on the ball, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So free kick Hearts on this near side. Harry Milne to take, about midway inside Celtic territory. Devlin's there as well, but he's just leaving the scene. Celtic have everyone back behind the ball. Hearts looking for a fourth goal here. In it comes, it's headed away by Tierney. Killed in the chest by Braga. Turns it out to Milne, right-hand side of the box. Two around him. Challenge comes from Luke McCowan, and then it bounces out of play off McCowan last for a Hearts throw-in. Level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box.
He's settled in well, but isn't he, Milne? Every time I see him, I think he's improving.
Did you say you were going to sign him? You were going to maybe think about signing him?
Yeah, but didn't. Story of my life.
Here come Celtic. Engels, McCowan, and then Balikwisha to McCowan, and then Engels down the line for Yamada. Celtic need to score sometime pretty soon, you would imagine. And it's a poor ball by Yamada, looking for McCowan, given away, and Balikwisha was in a good position. Hearts have it back instead. Devlin, Yamada trying to win it back. The referee blows his whistle and gives Hearts the free kick against Yamada. Devlin, what a performance it's been from Cammy Devlin this afternoon. Doesn't score goals, he didn't get those kind of headlines, but
honestly, those two as shields in front of the centre backs, they're unbelievable. Yeah, and Beningame, every time he hits the ball outside the box, all the supporters shout out, shoot, and he never does. And Cammy's the same. He gets in within 30 yards of goal, and you expect him to try and pull the trigger, but he just keeps it nice and simple, keeps possession of the ball.
Shvolov, the long ball out to the far side. The header's won by Donovan. It goes straight to Devlin, pumps it up high into the box. Braga giving chase. Murray gets there first, and Donovan has to force the ball out of play for a throw-in. Over there, it's come off the Hearts man last. It's going to be a Celtic throw-in. I think the Hearts fans they feel it's their ball because he's stealing yards. Anyway, a cup's been launched at Colby Donovan there from the home fans on the far side as he bowls the ball in eventually and goes back out to play for another throw. Hearts are really close to a quite incredible position. 13 minutes plus stoppages away from an 8-point advantage at the top of the Premiership.
Well, it looks like Celtic just can't get a ball to create anything.
That's a cheap corner given away though by Hearts. Steinwender's put it behind.
Must have been the best of it. You know, a Hearts player putting the ball out when he shouldn't have for a corner. But Celtic just have not created anything in this second half, have they?
Nothing at all, really, when you think about it. And certainly even the domination of the possession. I think that Hearts will probably have better stats for that in the second half.
Celtic corner as they try and find something, anything to grasp onto for the closing stages. Engels with the outswinging corner, in it comes, it's headed away by Kingsley. Callum McGregor turns it first time to Balikwisha on this near side, back towards McGregor. Good challenging back there by Braga, and it's cleared by Kingsley. It's been all hands to the pump at times for Hearts. The forward players coming back, doing a defensive job. It's with Schmeichel, who finds Donovan, and he plays it short to Murray, who rolls it out wide right for Engels. 12 minutes to play here. Engels cutting in field. Forward it comes to McCowan. Forrest out on that right-hand side. Infield to Engels. Back to James Forrest. Rolls it to McCowan. Takes a shot wide of the right-hand post. He's not that far away, though. It is much better from the champions, but he's dragged it wide, and it stays Hearts 3, Celtic 1 on 78.5.
Yeah, Celtic's best move of the second half.
Yeah, and inches wide of the left-hand post. Really good play. Lovely interchange of passes and along the edge of the box. And McCowan just pulling the trigger. And the goalkeeper stretching for it, but just creeps wide.
Forrest did well again. He was involved in that 1-2 a couple of times, and I like Luke McCowan. I don't know what you think.
No, listen, he's a tenacious little player. He's still growing to become a, and can he find his way into the team? That's the other problem for him, because he needs games.
Yeah, and he is feisty, and he's quite a hardy boy, and I think he's got a goal threat as well. And I liked him up at Dundee, and he doesn't get an awful lot of game time here, does he?
No, he doesn't, and that's the issue.
Celtic in possession over on the right-hand side of Forrest. Looks it infield to the outside of the boot to Engels, who goes for goal, and it's wide of the right-hand post again. He's got plenty behind it, but he's off target. Celtic trying to find a route back into this. They still trail 3-1, but we're just about to go into the final 10.
Liam, this is a little bit dangerous for me, for Hearts, when they keep retreating like they are doing just now. I think if they could play a little bit higher and try and squeeze the game a little bit more, they could maybe even take advantage of Celtic on the counter-attack. But everybody's collapsing back towards the goals, and I think that might be a little bit of a threat, a little bit of danger.
Braga going off, Magnuson coming on for Hearts. The team used from Pittodrie. Aberdeen Hibs, that kicks off in less than an hour now. 2:30 kick-off. Mitov. It is Devlin, Canuster, Milne, Malloy, Jensen, Aushish, Armstrong, Palaversa and Nisbet. And for Hibs, Challenger in goal, and Hanley, O'Hara and Iredale at the back there. Chris Cadden, Nicky Cadden, McGrath going up against his old team for the first time. Barlasser, Mulligan, Cliche. It's a 2:30 kick-off. Rangers Kilmarnock to come as well. The team from Ibrox will be coming shortly. Hearts are up the pitch here again. And it is their ball on this near side after Harry Milne was dumped into the advertising board in front of the Wheatfield stand. Will be a free kick here as Hearts look to kill this stone dead, if it's not already.
I've seen bookings for that exact type of thing, and he's put them onto the track, off the field and onto the track.
Harry Milne then to take. Line of players either side of the penalty spot. Milne delivers, left-footed, headed away by McGregor. It's a disappointing delivery, but it's still in the box. Celtic trying to get it clear, and McGregor eventually dumps it up the pitch. Celtic staring at back-to-back Premiership defeats here. Long ball for Hearts, comes to Milne wide right. Tierney for company now. Milne's got through the legs of Tierney. Steinbender gives chase, and McGregor plays it off, and then behind it goes for a Celtic goal kick. 82 played, Hearts 3, Celtic 1. Next up for Hearts, they go to St Mirren on Wednesday. That's been their only black spot this season, really, isn't it? That was the League Cup exit on penalties. Everything else has been positive, because even when they did drop points in the league, they came from 3-0 down to do so. They had a draw and salvaged something from it. They found different ways to win games as well. There's been those dramatic late wins at Dundee United, at Livingston, against Hibs in the derby here.
Yeah, they've got that in them, haven't they? Any team that going into the late stages with this Hearts team thinks the game's over, they've got another thing coming.
If you're going to win a championship, you need to have that in your locker, don't you? Because you're not going to be comfortable in every single game. How often have we seen Celtic score late? It's Balikwisha need to score twice late to get something out of this. Tierney finds McCowan at the byline, and he can only put it behind for the goal kick. He's claiming corner, he's not getting one. 7 minutes to play of the 90.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Yamada too. I'm not sure if he's... You know, we talk about Johnny Kenny, we talk about other... And the way that Celtic play, I don't think he's really done anything since he's come on the pitch.
I haven't noticed him doing anything.
That's the one.
Now he hasn't had a lot of service.
That's the one area you can, when people criticise perhaps from outside Celtic the reaction from the fans, given all the success they've had recently. That's the one area you can criticise the club fairly, isn't it? Not strengthening the forward line.
Yeah, I think so. I think they had, you know, when they lost Kyogo in January, was it January?
Yep.
Window, they didn't go to the market, and really they should have been.
Yeah, Schmeichel almost turned it out of play there on this near side. Balikwisha's onto it, back to Tierney and infield to Scales. Yeah, they didn't replace Kyogo, and whilst Iheanacho came in after Ida left, there's still a big hole there.
Huge.
When you see the injuries to the... As McCowan puts it straight out of play on the far side, you see the injuries sustained by who are their top two strikers now, and Daisen Maeda and Kelechi Iheanacho. What they've got after that is Johnny Kenny and Shin Yamada, who have not made the impression that they want to be making at the club as yet. Johnny Kenny's been at the club for a while now. Of course, he had that excellent loan out at Shamrock Rovers last season. Scored 20 times across the campaign for them. Or is he a first-choice Celtic striker? That's the question. Long ball for Hearts. Adju onto it on the left-hand side. Shrugging off Donovan. Rolling it back to Kingsley. Infield, it comes to Magnuson. And then back out to Adju. Just about the final 5 minutes of the 90. Hearts 3, Celtic 1. It is Magnuson on the far side. Out to Kingsley. Kingsley on the turn. Infield to Adju. Back out to Magnuson. They are toying with the champions here. What a statement this is. An incredible statement that Heart and Midlothian are making here. Is the title coming east? Well, we shall see. Just 9 games into the season. It's still very early. But Hearts have taken the best of what Celtic and Rangers have been able to throw at them this season, and they've dispatched them with aplomb on both occasions.
I think the fight has gone out of Celtic.
I've got to say, Craig, I agree with you totally there. I'm looking at it from a point of view. They played a few things later on with McCowan, a couple of shots, Ingles a shot. But that's been it. But they've been almost out-muscled.
Speaking of which, Craig Halkett with a top-quality rugby tackle, and Shin Yamada draws a yellow card on this near side. For some reason, McCowan still tried to play on there. The free kick had been given, and a yellow card comes out to Stuart Findlay as well.
Yeah, I think he went over rather easily, to say the least.
So 3-1 Hearts, 86 on the clock. Engels to take the free kick on this near side. Brendan Rodgers stands over there, hands in pockets in front of the main stand. Worrying times for Celtic this. They weren't hitting top gear by any stretch earlier, but they were still getting results. The results have disappeared all of a sudden. Here's Balikwisha to McGregor at the edge of the box. Shoots, deflected, and behind it goes off a Hearts defender for a Celtic corner. But they are very nearly there on Derek McInnes's side. When was the last time a team outside Celtic or Rangers had such a substantial lead at the top of the Premiership? Short corner played eventually to Balikwisha at the edge of the box, taking it for a run out to the far side. Out to Forrest. Infield to Engels, looks up at the box. Arne Engels crosses in, comes off the defenders, full makes a save. And then away to safety by Steinwender, out for a Celtic throw-in.
Well done to Steinwender, I'll tell you, because the keeper should have... Well, you'll know better than me, Pat. The keeper should have held that, do you think?
Yeah, if he didn't hold it, he should have knocked it away.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, out. You know, he didn't have to palm it out where he palmed it to. Got away with it.
McGregor into the centre circle there for Murray. To his right for Donovan, and then to Scales. Finds McGregor. It's been a very similar second half to the one we saw from Celtic at Dens Park a week ago.
Have they had any chances in the second half, Neil?
Just a couple of shots, wasn't it?
There was that one just there, wasn't there? And
yeah, the one went by the post.
A couple of efforts from distance. Engels and McCowan put it wide, but couldn't get it on target. Devlin, again, excellent. Turns it back to his goalkeeper. Schwolov long with the right foot. in the air by Scales. Engels into the midfield, gives it away to Adju. It's fouled there by McCowan. And that will be a Hearts free kick. Celtic will have a chance to bounce back quickly when they host Falkirk on Wednesday evening. After
have to play a lot better than this.
Yeah, Falkirk are going well, aren't they?
First half wasn't too bad, I've got to say. Second half, didn't see anything. Didn't really see anything.
St Mirren will have plenty to say. They were unlucky yesterday against Dundee United. That's who Hearts play next. But if these two were to win their matches in midweek, Hearts host Dundee with a chance to go 11 clear. The top of the league. It's remarkable. As Engels knocks it clear. And then Findlay gets onto it ahead of Yamada and goes back to his keeper. Shpolov's long ball out to this near side. Hearts are going to make another couple of changes in a moment. It is Tierney's long ball forward and bounces away from both Forrest and McCown, and Beningame touches it to Magnuson, who finds Adju to his left. Really strong squad as well that Hearts have, but they've given it away on the right, and it's Colby Donovan firing it across, but no takers there. Both Yamada and Balikwisha went for it as Balikwisha smacks the crossbar in frustration.
That was a good ball, wasn't it? You know, driven across that 6-yard box. Both of them just need to go in with real, commitment to get on the end of that. It was almost like, nah, I'm not going to get there.
Kingsley off, McCart on, and Kabangu will replace Shankland. And this start to the season has just got even better for Hearts, and at least they will in the next few minutes. Doesn't look like Celtic have a comeback in them here. It's not looked that way since Shankland dispatched the penalty. 4 minutes being added on at the end. We're into the first of those. Hearts are 4 minutes away from an 8-point lead. Craig Levine.
Quite incredible, really. But I mean, as I said right at the beginning of the programme, I think both of the Glasgow teams are a shadow of what we expect most seasons.
Yeah, this is the season to have a go at them, isn't it? To really have a go at them, especially doing that.
Especially with Hearts having the finances that Tony Bloom has supplied recently, and there's been some really good evidence of these players coming in and making an impact.
But also fair play to the guys who were here previously.
Yeah,
because you're talking about Kizaridis and Braga have come in the summer, and they've obviously caught fire quickly. But there's a lot of players in there. Harry Milne was here last season.
Harry Milne, you've got Halkett and Finlay as well. Been excellent, haven't they? And Beningame's had some terrible injuries at Hearts, and he's found himself right back in the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, you think of him, Liam Boyce, when he was here, and Halkett himself out we're talking years. They've lost in their careers because of injury. They played one of the 4 minutes as Schmeichel plays it short to Scales.
Yeah, I'm really delighted for Halkett. I just, he's had some really difficult
chance for Celtic though. Yamada, his efforts blocked by the aforementioned Halkett. He was the armband since Shankland went off.
That was a really good block. I thought he did well, Yamada, there to pull that ball down, and it looked as if he was going to get a real good strike at goal, but what a block from Halkett.
Celtic have it with Murray right at the centre circle. And breaks to Forrest over on the right. Down the line for Donovan. Infield to McCowan. Now it's with Forrest. He's in the box. Just got away from him slightly and just to settle for the corner. Finlay with a challenge. But we've played 2 of the 4 minutes of stoppage time. It remains Hearts 3, Celtic 1. So anything Celtic do here would be scant consolation for them. The Hearts supporters have all stayed to acclaim their team, which they will do in less than 2 minutes. In comes the corner, which beats everyone in green and white, and breaks out to Balikwisha, who turns it back to McGregor. Brendan Rodgers over there, staring into the abyss. The middle distance, as his team tries to find something in front of goal. Forrest to McGregor, midway inside the Hearts half, to the left for Tierney. And he goes back to Dane Murray in the centre circle, and then over to the right-hand side for Donovan. Now Engels. In comes the cross again. Headed away by Milne. And then the clearance from Elton Kabangu goes into the Celtic have, and they are just about there. The final minute of stoppage time. There's a foul on Tierney by Milne, and he's going to be booked as well here by the look of it. Yellow's out for Harry Milne. Free kick to Celtic on this near side. But once again, and it was the story at Dens last week, Celtic quite simply have not been good enough. Hearts, on the other hand, have been more than good enough, and well worth their victory that will be theirs in seconds now. And their start to the season has been well worthy of the lead they have at the top of the league as well. The cross from Donovan's deflected behind for the corner, but there's barely enough time to take it.
No, there's hardly been a period in this game where there's been really sustained Celtic pressure.
No.
Corner, outswinger. This will be the last action of the game. It's headed away by Adju. We played the 4 minutes of stoppage time, and that's it. That is it. The league leaders slay the champions in Edinburgh to continue this wonderful start to the season that they have made. And they've just produced an almighty statement victory that takes them 8 points clear of Celtic at the top of the top flight. And they are now looking at a big gap, and a long way back are the reigning champions who've won it 13 times out of the last 14 seasons. But they've been put in their place today, put in their box. Dane Murray's own goal early on at Hearts in front, only for Callum McGregor to equalise 4 minutes later. Benjamin Nygren missed an absolute sitter to put Celtic in front. He didn't take it, and they've paid an almighty price here, because 2 second-half goals in the space of 3 minutes from Alexandros Kizeridis and a Lawrence Shanklin penalty. I've seen Hearts pull a massive rabbit out of the hat here as Derek McInnes sticks the acclaim of the supporters. There is a threat here, there is a title challenge, make no mistake about that. And the two big Glasgow sides in disarray. It is Heart of Midlothian who are taking full advantage of it right now. The Hearts players celebrate, the fans stay back to celebrate. They are 8 points clear, and that gap at the top might even increase over the course of the next week, which would be remarkable if it is not already in that category. Hearts look like they are here to stay, and it looks like there's a bona fide challenge coming from the East this season for the Scottish title. More than 40 years since a side out with the two Glasgow teams won it. And it could be Hearts, 40 years on from their heartache at Dens, who are the ones to provide it. It finished here at Tynecastle Park. Heart of Midlothian 3, Celtic 1.